Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. Now I'm going to start the problems on accounting equation. Last video I have completely explained about the term accounting equation. That is assets is equal to capital plus liabilities, or capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. There are two methods of recording the transactions. According to traditional method, we have different types of accounts. For every transaction, we have to debit one account and credit another account, double entry system. Whereas the modern approach of recording transaction is according to accounting equation method. In accounting equation method, every transaction will affect either the asset, liability or capital. If a transaction affects assets, simultaneously it will have the effect on capital or liabilities. Similarly, if a transaction affects the liability, corresponding effect will be on assets or capital. Like that, every transaction will have double effect. The double entry system can be followed either by traditional method or by the modern methods. So in this video, I am going to explain you about how the transactions will affect the accounting equation. So the problems are based on the theory. So if you have not watched, I suggest you go to the playlist of my channel. Select the subject Accounting for CA Foundation. Watch the video on theory regarding accounting equation. Be perfect about the concept, then you can easily understand the problems. And before starting the problem, I expect my viewers to have a printout of the problems which I have given in the link under my description. Always keep ready a printout and then watch the video, then only you can be able to understand. Simply watching the video will not be sufficient. So take the screenshot of the points which I have written on the board, then I'll explain every point in detail. Now, see the first problem. The first problem is develop the accounting equation for the following information available at the beginning of the accounting period. So at the beginning of the accounting period, capital 51,000, all the rupees in thousands. So loan 11,500, trade payable 5,700, fixed asset 12,800, inventory 22,600, trade receivable 17,500, cash and bank 15,300. These are all the balances at the beginning of the period. At the end of the accounting period, the balances appear as follows. Capital, question mark. We have to find out the capital at the end of the year. Loan is given, trade payable, fixed assets, inventory, trade receivable, cash at bank. So all the items are given at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. And at the end of the year, capital is not given. We have to find out. First question. Reset the equation and find out the profit. The first question is we have to find out the profit. Second, prepare the balance sheet at the end of the accounting period. So these are the two questions. Now, first of all, we will write down the accounting equation. Accounting equation says assets is equal to capital plus liabilities, or we can say capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. This is the accounting equation. Now, at the beginning of the period, capital is given 51,000, given in the problem. And the liabilities, you can find two liabilities are there, that is loan and trade payable. Loan and trade payable. So, total liability is 17,200. Assets. At the beginning of the period, assets are fixed assets, inventory, trade receivable, cash and bank. Take the respective amounts from the problem. 68,200 are the total assets. Now, capital is equal to assets minus liability. So, 68,200 are the assets, 17,200 is the liability. Subtract, you will get 51,000. Check, capital is 51,000 or not? Yes, capital is given 51,000. That means our accounting equation is proved. All the assets must be equal to capital plus liability, or capital is equal to assets minus liability. Hence, the accounting equation is proved at the beginning of the year. Now, end of the period, see, capital, we don't know. We have to find out. How to find out the capital? Assets minus liabilities. Take the total of assets. Assets consist of fixed assets plus inventory plus trade receivable plus cash and bank. All the amounts are given in the problem. Take the total. 68,720 is the total of assets at the end of the year. Liabilities are 2, loan and trade payable. Respective amounts are given. Total. Capital is equal to assets minus liability. 68,720 minus 17,300. 51,420 is the capital at the end of the year, which is not given in the problem. By using accounting equation, we come to know about capital. Therefore, capital at the end of the period 51,420. Now, profit. Profit is the difference between the capital at the end of the year minus capital at the beginning of the year. So, closing capital minus opening capital, you will get the profit. It is asking you to find out the profit. So, what is the capital at the end of the year? 51,420 is the capital at the end of the year. Capital at the beginning of the year already we have already given in the problem. 51,000. So 51,420 minus 51,000, profit is 420. First question completed. Now, second part is prepare the balance sheet. Balance sheet we are making in the horizontal form. Left hand side liability, right hand side assets. At the end of the year, assets are given in the problem. Fixed asset 12,720, inventory, trade receivable, cash and bank. So whatever values are given in the problem, same values I have taken. Now, liability side capital. At the beginning of the year, capital was 51,000. Beginning of the year. And during the year, profit earned is 420. Remember, the profit will be added to opening capital. Then we'll get the closing capital. The opening capital was 51,000. Profit earned during the year 420. So 51,000 plus 420, you'll get 51,420. This is the closing capital. End of the year capital. Now, end of the year, how much is the loan and how much trade payable given in the problem? Now, find out the total of assets and liability. The total of liabilities are 68,720 and the total of assets are 68,720. Balance sheet tallied. That's it. This is the first question on accounting equation. Now, second question I am reading out. Mr. David has provided following details relating to his financial. Find out the missing figures. Some items are missing. The missing figures are A, B and C. The data given: profit earned during the year 5,000. Assets at the beginning of the year, don't know. We have to find out. A. Liabilities at the beginning of the year 12,000 given. Assets at the end of the year not given. B. We have to find out. Liabilities at the end of the year, C, not given. We have to find out. Closing capital is 35,000 and total liabilities including capital at the end of the year is 50,000. The only thing is you have to find out A, B and C. Ascertainment of missing figures A, B and C. So A is equal to assets at the beginning of the year. B is equal to assets at the end of the year. And C is equal to liabilities at the end of the year. These three things we have to find out. One by one we can calculate. Closing capital. In the problem it is given closing capital is 35,000. Closing capital 35,000. From closing capital, if we deduct the profit, we will get the opening capital. Because opening capital plus profit is equal to closing capital. Closing capital minus profit is equal to opening capital. So closing capital 35,000 minus profit earned during the year 5,000. So opening capital will be 30,000. Beginning of the year capital is 30,000. Now we know the accounting equation. Assets is equal to capital plus liabilities. So here I am writing assets is equal to capital plus liabilities. We need assets. How much is the capital at the end of the year? The capital, opening capital, sorry. Opening capital is 30,000. Opening capital 30,000. And opening liabilities, it is given in the problem liabilities at the beginning of the year is 12,000. So liabilities at the beginning of the year 12,000. So 12,000 is the liabilities and 30,000 is the capital. So 30,000 plus 12,000. 42,000 is the assets at the beginning of the year. So one item we got assets at the beginning of the year 42,000. Now secondly, total liabilities including capital at the end of the year 50,000 given in the problem. Total liabilities including capital, right? 50,000. But closing capital is given in the problem 35,000. So from total liabilities, if we deduct capital, we will get the net liability. Liabilities at the end of the year. Without capital, the liabilities are 15,000. With the capital, the liabilities are 50,000. Right? Now, assets at the end of the year. Assets is equal to capital plus liability. The end of the year, how much is the capital? 35,000 is the capital. Liability is how much? 15,000. So 35,000 plus 15,000 is the 50,000 is the assets at the end of the year. So liability assets at the end of the year is 50,000. So here it is asking B point, assets at the end of the year, we got 50,000. Lastly, liabilities at the end of the year. We have already calculated. Liabilities at the end of the year is 15,000. Here we have calculated. Total liabilities including capital. From that capital deduct, you get the liabilities. The end of the year liabilities are 15,000. So finally we got A, B, C. A, assets at the beginning of the year 42,000. B, assets at the end of the year 50,000. C, liabilities at the end of the year 15,000. That's it. 2 questions we have completed. Now third question. In third question we have to make the transactions of the accounting equation. That we'll do it in the next video. Right now fourth problem I am doing. Third problem next video I am going to explain. Now fourth problem. Calculate the missing amount for the following. So here 3 columns are given: assets, liabilities, capital. In each of the row A, B, C, D, you can find one unknown value is there. Example A. In case of A, assets are given, liabilities are given, capital not given. We have to find out capital. Then B. Assets not given, capital and liabilities are given. C. Assets are given, capital is given, liabilities are not given. We have to find out. D. Assets are given, liabilities are given, capital we have to find out. By using accounting equation, we can find out the missing figures. Example A. Capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. Capital is assets minus liability. In the problem, capital is assets are given 15 lakh and liabilities are given 2,50,000. Capital is how much? Or we can say capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. So capital is equal to assets minus liability. Assets are 15 lakh, liability 2,50,000. So 12,50,000 is the capital. One suggestion I want to make to my dear students: always keep a notebook, calculator, pen ready. Simply watching the videos will not be sufficient. If you want the perfect knowledge, if you want to clear the CA foundation examination, the first attempt is set by following my videos. Follow my suggestions. It's for your benefit only. Always keep ready a notebook, calculator. When I say something important, immediately note it down. Even roughly if you write it down, it will be okay. Now, second, B point. Assets are not given, liabilities and capital are given. So we can say assets is equal to capital plus liability. Assets is equal to capital plus liability. Capital is given 75,000, liabilities are given 1,50,000. So 2,25,000 is the assets. C point. Assets are given, capital is given, liabilities are not given. So liabilities is equal to assets minus capital. So here liabilities is equal to assets minus capital. Assets are 14,50,000 and the capital is 13,75,000. 1450 minus 1375, 75,000 is the liability. Last item, assets are given 57 lakh, liabilities are given negative 2,50,000 minus 2,50,000. Capital how much? So capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. Capital is equal to assets minus liability. So C is equal to assets are given 57 lakh minus liabilities are given minus 2,80,000. So in bracket I am writing minus 2,80,000 because liabilities are negative. Now 57 lakh, this minus into minus will become plus. Minus into minus will become plus. plus 2,80,000. So 57 plus 2, 59,80,000 is the capital. That's it. This is the first video on problems on accounting equation. In this video, 3 problems have completed. Problem number 1, 2 and 4. The next problem, third problem, will start in the next video, inshallah. So if you're satisfied, give a like to the video, share my channel, give your views, give your comments, subscribe my channel if you have not yet subscribed, and buy the super thanks which is given below my video. Inshallah, we'll continue the next problem in the next video.